Good morning everybody, and this is your Dow Jones day trade setups for today. So we've had a fairly strong move up, but a little bit of a different picture compared to the DAX and the S&P, to be quite honest. Look at the oscillators, they have separated. One of them is already in the overbought area, and then we have this overhead resistance coming up, actually quite far away. I just want to get to weekly, make sure we're not missing something here. I suppose we should be looking at that as well. Okay. Right, so you can see the bottom level was something which we flirted with all of last week, eventually broke through yesterday. But this little pattern that we see here does worry me a little bit. In the other indexes, we've got a double bottom. This is not quite a double bottom. But nevertheless, let's just draw that level in as well. So those are the main levels we need to be paying attention to today. But it does look a little bit confused for me. And if you look at this in 3 hour, you can see strong grouping of the oscillators, overbought completely, although we do have a crossover of the moving averages here. So at 3 hour, we could be an uptrend, but obviously we want to pull back onto the 150 EMA. So I do want to pull back onto this level of 34,709 before deciding whether this is an upward trend or not. When we look at the hour, the picture changes just a little bit. You can see Monday we did get the confirmation here. So we got to pull back inside bar off some structure and then got moving. Confusion during the European session, and then during the US session it was all green. So I would argue at the moment on the lower time frames that it is an upward trend. So we should be looking for an opportunity upside. I would prefer a pullback onto 34,709. But what may happen, and this is very gappy as well. Okay, so this may offer some support, 34,845, but I think it's not going to be something that's going to continue for a long time, not with all these gaps here. So the whole of the move yesterday was just so gappy, there's no structure to it. You can see the confusion here at the level. So I would watch this level, 34,845, but I think, to be quite honest, I think the DAX or the S&P has actually got better structure. I don't really like what I'm seeing here, and whenever I see gaps like this, I tend to sort of just shy away from it, because those gaps more than often close, and there's even gaps here below the structure as well. Look there, that gap is still open. So yeah, there's a strong possibility we could probably come all the way back down here and then bounce off again. So the higher time frame obviously has a fairly solid setup that is brewing. It's not complete yet, but it could very well be a setup that is brewing. From the weekly perspective, it's kind of bottom of this channel that we've been in all year. So if you look at this from a weekly perspective, that is a well-structured move. And there's your move. So that's where you should be heading to. And if you look left, you can almost guarantee yourself that there's no structure. Yeah, so, but that is kind of what's brewing. So I suppose if you look at it from the weekly perspective, and you probably look at it from the daily perspective, you'll see it clearly. There's a move up, pullback, inside bar, not quite off structure. There's a lot of chaos in that area, but anyway, let's just take it for a move to the upside. So that is kind of what you should be looking for. Nice grouping of the oscillators, crossover, etc. But the minute you come down to the levels that you want to be trading on the intraday perspective, it starts getting a bit shaky. So I don't want to be jumping in long up there. Definitely not. I'd prefer pullbacks, but pullback to here at 34,709 would be the most logical choice. But then I've got these gaps below, which would concern me. And obviously got the weekly gap here as well. So yeah, I think for me the S&P 500 rather than the Dow, but sorry, the DAX. No, I'll get it right. We are on the Dow. Must still be the gremlins that are in my head. So this would be a fairly decent area for an opportunity long, 34,709. But this little area here could also hold up price. But then I would be down 15 5-minute chart. In actual fact, if you just get down to the 5-minute chart and have a look here, you'll see that would offer some fairly decent structure on the 5-minute. That would be 34,845. So in other words, I expect it to range during the European session, and then I'd want to see a break of the high of yesterday, which is there, and retest of that before looking for an opportunity. That is going to give you a 70-point stop loss. So low time frames, yes, there is an opportunity. Sort of hour and to the 3 hour, it's a bit cautious. I think you would rather prefer a deeper pullback before moving, but nevertheless it is up on the 15 minutes. So if the oscillators get down low again and we come into structure, it's long until it's not, and that's kind of the way that I would take this. But yeah, I'd much prefer a deeper pullback, and I don't think you're going to get it. I think you're probably just going to range here, pop up, come back, and then another squirt to the upside. So yeah, that's kind of my view. I'm not going to be trading this. I think I'll rather trade the S&P 500 today. It looks a little bit better, more structured than what the Dow does. So I'll hop onto that rather. I'd rather trade something that I'm more confident that it's going to move in the direction rather than a second guess. And I think the Dow for me is a bit of a second guess. Hope that helps, and we'll catch up with you tomorrow morning. Cheers for now.